How are you guys? What a cool venue this is, right? Have you all been to stuff here before? Because I've had coffee here plenty of times, but I've never been to like an event. And I love it. It's so fun. And if you go to the bathroom, everything's glowing, which is fantastic because you won't get lost on your way there. My name is Sarah Forhetz. I'm a friend of Aaron and Deneé's. I was on the radio with them at one point, back whenever I was a cool kid. And then they left me. But I stayed in touch with them because they're two of the coolest people I know. Really, I mean that. Like, they're also fun and nice and all those things, but they're just cool. Like, you know, cool people. I am not one of them, nor is my husband, so I don't get to be around that too much. But we would like to welcome you. We are so glad you're here. You obviously believe in Aaron and Deneé, as do I, or else you wouldn't be here. So thank you for coming. Thank you for everyone listening online, assuming we got the computer bugs worked out, which that's always important. I'm glad I'm not in charge of that. And thank you also to Classic Rock Coffee for providing the venue tonight, and also the Band app. That's the sponsor of the night, Band app. I have to say that like really phonetically so you guys don't miss it, Band app. And then my favorite part is that I get to introduce Aaron and Deneé. A lot of you know them from the radio. And you know them and you love them and you miss them, and I miss them all the time. But what I love about Aaron and Deneé is they're so super creative, and God knows that about them. So he's like, whoosh, and he pushed them out of the boat, and now they get to do cool stuff like this, because a lot of people will get pushed out of the boat and want to cling to exactly what they were doing previously. And while there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, I like that they're willing to try new stuff and try new venues and reach new audiences. And it's really, truly a gift to be funny and not raunchy. And I love that because Deneé is so... You never know what she's going to say, and it embarrasses me. Even if I'm in my car by myself, I sometimes will turn red. But it's never raunchy, and that's a gift. Truly it is. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Aaron and Deneé. Hi.
I'm going to sit in your chairs.
I feel like I have to say something raunchy now.
Yeah, I think that would work really well.
Don't prove me wrong, Deneé.
I won't.
Thank you, Sarah. That was really, really sweet. And thank you guys for being here with us. This is different.
Because there's smoke in the air.
There's a fog machine. There's people actually in the room while we're talking to each other.
Stuff to play on.
It's crazy.
I'm excited.
But we are very thankful that you found it worth your evening to come hang out with us. We're going to do our best to have a great time together tonight. You done?
It was still going.
Okay, good.
I didn't realize.
Good. And we want to let you know, one of the main questions that we get, you probably get this as well, is where are you guys? What are you doing? And so one of the things tonight we want to make sure we let you know kind of where you can hear us, where we're at, what we're doing, all that kind of different stuff. Now, amongst all that, this really is just a great evening, just kind of hang out together, get a chance to see each other. Deneé's already been the butterfly all around, saying hi to everybody.
I got in trouble already.
Really?
Yeah.
By who?
You.
Oh, that's right. I have a much more difficulty being a butterfly. It just doesn't work for me, but I do like to, have conversations and hang out. So we'll make sure we're doing that.
We're also streaming live right now, so we have a live audience online. So, hi guys. I just looked up in the sky as if you're up in the air somewhere. Yeah, we are up to a lot of really fun things. We do our podcast, which is actually like our talk show. We're actually going to be doing that here in just a bit for the live audience. We're still doing radio. You can find out all kinds of information at our website, and we're going to kind of cover all those things as the night goes on, but this is just the welcome.
First thing we want to let you know
Welcome.
Is about our...
welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
Sorry.
Is there supposed to be a response to that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe.
Thank you. Maybe thank you. Okay, good. That
That's
works
good.
well.
That was good.
You want to try it again?
That was natural. That happened naturally.
Yeah,
we didn't even have to
totally
do
in the
anything.
moment.
That was in the moment.
That's right. There is an app sponsoring this evening. Band is their name, and they should see up there.
There's a picture, you guys.
Band
That's
app,
it.
and it's a great way to stay in touch with us in what we're doing. We, Facebook is there, and everybody's there. We get it.
Band is better in a way. It's like more like forums. If you guys used to be around the internet in the olden days, or forums, remember those? Where you like left messages. It's kind of more
We called it
based
the
like
World
that.
Wide Web then.
So this app we found, they've actually sponsored our show for months and months now. So they've got prizes and giveaways from them. If you guys don't mind, if you want to, this is kind of an interactive show. We don't care if you're in your phones chatting away in the app. We're going to have a major giveaway for those who are in the band app tonight.
What's in the giveaway?
We have a backpack, notebooks, sunglasses, T-shirts, selfie sticks. That's 2. There's like 2 of everything from
Cool.
band. They like packed this huge bag full of stuff. So that's back there. You probably passed it when you came in. And if you guys can't find a seat, let us know. We can always put up some chairs up here in the front.
So if you've been thinking you could use a selfie stick or a backpack.
Or two,
download the app and then search for Aaron and Deneé, and you should see our band there. And then in that band, we've already put a poll that asks you what accent you would like Deneé to speak in later in the show. All right? And there's some choices there. So get on the band app and vote on which accent.
Get on the bandwagon. Oh, they should have called it bandwagon.
That makes a lot of sense.
I should write them and tell them that.
And if you vote on that, you will be automatically entered into, right? Anybody that votes on that poll?
Yep.
Will be automatically entered in to win that
But
grand
you have
prize.
to be part
at
of the
end
app to win that one. But we have prizes for everybody, so you don't have to get it. It is the kind of app where it's going to ask you for your information. You can actually bypass everything personal. So it's going to ask you to put in your email. It'll ask you for those stuff. You can just kind of skip all of that.
And it's a fun way. We love doing shows where people can interact with what we're doing.
And you can be anonymous if you want to. So if you want to name yourself Bobo or Charlie or Monkey or whatever, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to be yourself in the band.
Or Charlie the Bobo Monkey.
Which means there's trolls in the app, and there's some really weird people in there, and they make me really upset. And sometimes I have to put my like little admin pants on and be like, "You're booted."
That's right. You should see her face when she gets to boot somebody out of the app.
It's kind of sadistic.
It's really kind of scary.
I'm
it
like,
genuinely is.
You're going down. It's fun.
We're excited to have a great evening with you, and very excited to bring you some music tonight. Starting off this night, our very own Deneé with a couple Bens. Please give it up for Ben, and Deneé.
Hey, brother. Hey, Brother B, will you grab my water off there? Because, I mean, I was going to exit and come back, and it was just going to be weird. Yeah. Substance for my throat. So, I play a guitar, and I sing, and sometimes it sounds good. So, hopefully that happens tonight. This first song is one that I like singing because I love Jewel. So you can sing along with me because it's one you all know because they played it a whole lot on the radio. But the first thing you do is you make sure your guitar is in tune. That's what I was taught. This guy actually taught me a lot about playing guitar, which he says he didn't, but he really did. He told me at the very beginning how to make sure that I was holding the guitar correctly. I didn't listen. I'm sorry for that because now I've got more problems.
True story.
I'm like, And I also take some of my songs to him, a song I'm going to play here in just a moment. And he studied music. What school did you go to?
Greenville College in Illinois.
And he studied guitar. And so I'll bring a song to him, and I'll be like, okay, this is what it is. He's like, that doesn't work musically at all. And yet somehow it works. So we'll play one of those here. And then that is my brother. He is the cutest one of the two of us. So this is Who Will Save Your Soul. I expect you to sing along. Okay. People, they have the lines for you on TV. They say they're better than you, and you agree. He says, hold my calls from behind those cover crosses. Come here, boy, there ain't nothing for free. Another doctor's bill, a lawyer's bill, another cute, cheap thrill. You know you love him if you put him in your will, right? Who will save your soul when it comes to the flowers now? Who will save your souls of those lies that you told, boy? Soul, if you won't save your own life. We try to hustle and try to bustle and try to cussle, cause the cops want somebody bust down on New Orleans Avenue. Another day, another dollar, another war, another tower went up where the homeless had their homes. So we pray to as many different gods as there are flowers, but we call religion our friend. We're so worried about us saving our soul. We pray that God won't take his toll if we get to begin by who will save your soul when it comes to the flowers now. Who will save your souls after those lies that you told, boy? Who will save your soul if you won't save your own? La da 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 da. La 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 da 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 da. La That's the first song for it. Everything that could happen right before a show happened right before the show. And I was thinking about just singing for my friends tonight. I haven't sang in front of a group of friends like this in a long time. And one of the first times I did was like 6 or 7 years ago. That's where I met Noble. I don't know if Noble's around here somewhere. But we played at this place called The Hub. If you guys remember it, if you've been in Springfield, you might. And it was a really, really fun night. You learn a lot when you are just singing. You learn a lot about what it means to just like put your voice out there and your heart out there and your soul out there. And I've never really pursued doing like performances or anything like that, but a lot of people want to, join into something. And so this next song is the most terrifying song ever. And sometimes you just do things because people ask you to. And this song is one of Ben's favorites, and he asked me to learn it. The first time I played it, I almost passed out. It was terrifying. I may not open my eyes this entire time. It's okay, though. So let's hope this water cures my ails. Go for it, Ben. Let's see if I can do this. Look inside for the elusive gold mine. Broken glass and a little cheap wine is all that I could find. And bundles of contradictions. My heart full of loose connections. Hands across my eyes. I cannot disguise I'm every man's daughter. Every man's daughter. And it's always the same old question. Who am I and whose invention? This armor's full of dust. There's so much of us in each other. If I hate you, you're my best reminder of all I wish I was. And I hate you just because I'm every man's daughter. Every man's daughter. Who do you think that I am? It don't matter long as we can understand. Oh, I am hurting someone. I am hurting someone just like, oh, just like you. Insulting the wounds of others, my sisters and my brothers. My vision's way too good, and I carry an inward aching. And like you, I too am naked, and I don't look that good. But this someone just like, oh, just like I am hurting someone, I am hurting someone just like, oh, just like you. 'Cause I am every man's daughter. Yeah, I am every man's daughter. Every man's daughter. Every man's daughter. Something else terrifying, let me tell you. When I was in high school, almost dropped out. Super annoying. High school was annoying. Don't drop out, kids. It's not a good thing. I had a couple of people I really looked up to. My friends, obviously. They were the ones encouraging me to leave. Thank you, friends. You can't do that anymore. They lock you down. You're in jail. And then I also had a friend and a teacher. I had a teacher that was a crazy person. He would jump up on the piano and rally us all to this great swell of music, and you have a purpose, and sing for me. Phantom of the Opera style was awesome. I'd never seen anything like it. I'd never seen an adult so comfortable in their skin, just passionately pulling things out. It was awesome. He, I don't know, intuition, whatever, found out that I was going to drop out. Came up to me one day and he was like, we need you. I need you to be here. And for some reason I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'll stay in school. That's that guy right there. Kevin Hawkins is here. Don't stay on the table. I don't know, crazy man. I went on, as I mentioned, started playing guitar, and that was an accident. It was pretty fun. And I found something that was really awesome. They're called capos. They're awesome. I'm going to get them out. And this is a song I showed Ben. Ben, why don't you tell me about the first time that I brought this song to you? While I put the kids on?
She was like, hey, Ben, I got this new song to show you. And then she picks up her guitar. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Hear what Deneé's been writing. And then she pulls out a capo and puts it on the guitar. I'm like, oh, cool. Then she takes another capo and puts it on her guitar. And as a guitar player, this is like, what the heck, 2 capos? Apparently she got one that's like itty bitty. It's a mini one. It's a tiny one.
It's a baby.
Which, if you're not a guitar player, a capo basically changes the key of the guitar. So she's basically changing the key once at one point and then at another spot up here. So, like, she's showing me the chords and everything, and I'm like, these are unlike any chords that I've ever seen. But in the end, it all turned out to be pretty magical. I don't even know what inspired her to use 2 capos, but it sounds
experimentation. Great. You just got to break the rules sometimes. Or, in my case, you don't know the rules, and then you find out later on you did it weird. Whatever. Someone's got to do something weird and different. This is called Tale of Kansas City. I've only recorded a few songs, and they're all in friends' garages. It's awesome. If you want it, I'll just send it to you. This song is a play on words about a crazy time in life. So, you ready? This will be the last song. I'm similar to a leaf in a storm toss, tornado me from Kansas City into a land of technicolor. Oh, so pretty, oh, so pretty, yeah. And see me grow at 10 feet tall. Alice, I wonder, will you land over Faloo? Upside under over, mix me with the wine. I'll drink and shrink to the level of your eye. Ooh, am I dreaming? Have I been swept away? When all these flowers bud to roses. acres of sand. Up in the stars, I found a never-ending land. Keep up with TikTok, the Taylor, Kansas City. In time, rewind and find I found my happy ending. Ooh, I'm definitely dreaming. I'm totally swept away. A thousand flowers of wanting roses. I know. Thank you guys. Thank you, Ben and Ben. You guys are awesome. We are going to be playing together again soon at McSalty's Pizza Cafe on Battlefield in January. So we'll keep you guys updated with the dates on that. Aaron, I did it. I sang it for my
Nicely
peers.
done. Another round of applause for Ben, and Deneé.
Guys,
Yeah.
I did it. Also, sweating a lot.
Well, the lights are up here.
So you're the only one that has to smell me. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, do I unplug this now and makes a big noise?
Okay, so this is the part of the show where we enter into an experiment that has never been done before. You are the witnesses and
Hi,
the
new
participants.
people. We appreciate you coming.
Yeah, and there's some
Hi.
chairs here against the wall if you need some chairs. You are now part of the show. Like I said, one of the things that people ask us about is where can we listen to you? Where can we listen to your show? What are you guys doing? That kind of thing. We are live on the internet through an app called Mixlr every Tuesday and Friday right now at noon. The eventual goal to be live every day at noon for you to stream and listen to. I think it's up behind us. It is Mixlr is the app. Just search for Mixlr, download it, and then anytime we go live, you'll get a notification that we're doing a show of some sort. So what we're going to do tonight is we are going to record live our podcast, which is usually streamed live throughout the internet. But you're going to be a part of this. So do you want me to start moving since we're setting up over there?
And now I'm going to take over so Aaron can move off of the
All right.
direction. Aaron, what were you saying? I wasn't listening to you at all.
Oh, nothing important.
Okay, so we're going to do something called the show. Oh, who listens to Shoe the Dough? Okay, who has never heard Shoe the Dough? You guys are awesome because you're new people. So every Tuesday and Friday we go live and then we put it into the podcast feed later. I'm sorry if he just said this. How many of you listen to podcasts of any kind? You guys listen? Okay. That's good. To use audio is good because I can't see you very well. So if you go to iTunes or Stitcher, you search for Shoe the Dough, and you can hear the show anytime. You don't always have to come in live. But because we are live all the time, we appreciate you coming. People listening online, the reason I sound like that is I just got ran over by a table. Okay, alrighty. Cool thing that happens online too is there's chatting that happens. So you get to meet people from all over the country that tune into the show. And it scratches that itch for Aaron and I. We started off in radio. Radio means that there's music. Music is more important than what we talk about, whether you agree with that or not. And so we're second to the music. When you're listening to the radio, you want that next song to come on, and we don't want to distract from that. So we're popping in, we're popping out with thoughts. But in podcast world and in talk show world, we get a chance to explore conversations and spend a longer time getting to know each other. So what we've developed just is what we call Shoe the Dough, and the reason we call it that is it's do the show, a spoonerism. And it's our version of what a show is. We do different segments. We do pop culture. We do games. We kind of just try to mix it up. It's like a little bit of elements of everyday normal life that you would experience. So really the fun part for us is being able to explore different segments. So tonight we're only going to cover a few segments that we do because we only have a short amount of time together. We wanted to kind of show you a little variety, things that you can expect. And if you listen to the show on a regular basis, then you will hear all the segments at the same time.
We're doing a second giveaway, by the way. Oh, I should mention, somebody mentioned with Band, if you downloaded the Band app and searched for Aaron and Deneé, sometimes you can't find it unless you put the little Asante goo.
Which means you hold down the E button
until you see the little accent on Deneé's E, and you might be able to find it. That was when you meet Deneé for the first time, she's like, "Hi, I'm Deneé. It's an Asante goo. Here's how you do it." That's basically how that works. So yeah, if you want to search for that, thank you to, I saw several people already joining the band app voting on your accent, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. Why don't you be in the middle and we'll let our guests be on the end.
That'd be awkward if they had it. Hi.
No,
No.
You don't need to.
I don't know what to do. We do have a plan. I swear.
So we do kind of a hybrid of radio in podcasting. Podcasting is
Aaron.
recorded for later. Radio happens live with an audience.
Check.
So we do a podcast format with a live audience. Radio,
I just told him that.
podcast,
You weren't paying attention.
podcast, radio. It's a patio show.
It's not a patio show. That sounds so
It's
raunchy.
Podcast. It's not raunchy. We already established you're not raunchy.
Okay,
So it's not
I'm
raunchy.
willing to admit
It's a
that my
patio
pits
show.
reek right now, but I do not think we should call it a patio show.
Deneé thinks-
Right? I mean, it's a radicast, radio and podcast.
So
radicast.
first of all, by round of applause, who thinks it should be called a radicast? Okay, that's pretty
I
decent.
love my people.
Who thinks it should be called a patio show? Yeah, see?
You guys smell bad. That is wrong. I'm really hoping. So in the chat, we always have people that also vote on that.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when we do our show, now that I'm in podcast brain, I'm always in the chat talking and reading. So this is going to be weird because I feel totally disconnected from my people. But I'm connected to a whole new group of people visually. This is awesome. You should be in band right now voting if you're not, by the way. Just a reminder.
Okay, so the podcast always starts with a theme song, so I'm going to get that loaded up here.
And we say, are you ready to shoot the dough? And then you guys freak out.
Actually, I will say we're broadcasting live from Classic Rock Coffee, and then they can freak out there. You can freak out whenever you want to freak out. That is totally up to you. But you become part of the show at this point.
This is really, really how I am.
All right, I've got this plugged in. You all set?
How many of you know me and know that this is how I am? I must say that feels really validating. I have this like weird feeling in the back, like I'm like, people think I'm doing some kind of a weird like turn into somebody that
I can tell you, as somebody who has worked with Deneé for 4 years now, on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, were you asking? Yeah.
This is not a faucet that she turns on. This is Deneé all the time.
My parents are back there. I blame them. I love you. I love you, and I blame you. I blame you both.
Isn't that like, that basically just sums up parenting, right? I love you and I blame you. That's basically
It's true.
all
well,
parenting.
actually, I don't know because my dogs.
Uh-huh.
I have okay.
Do they say I love you
No,
and
I'm
I
sorry.
blame you?
You have a plan. I gotta back off this mic.
Hey, it's a podcast. It's fine. All right. Here we go. Oh, a third chair would be good. You want to go grab it? I'll do the intro. You can go grab
I
it.
just don't want to get in trouble again.
No, you're not in trouble.
Thank you. My stagehand husband, everyone. Oh! Bravo. Your
All right.
friends are booing you. That's hilarious. You must be so embarrassed right now. No? Okay.
All right, it should be playing.
It's
Nothing?
not if it's not playing, then we can do it in our imaginations.
It is playing.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Our friend Chris Tilley wrote that music.
That's true.
When we're in the studio and this kind of stuff happens, and we have a live audience, we're like, we're definitely
This
live.
kind of stuff never happens.
You're such a
in the-
liar.
In the live audience, never.
What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened when we were doing a live show for you?
Oh my goodness.
Mine was when I fell out of the chair when we were live at 88 Point Through the Wind.
Mm-hmm. I've had the microphone fall a few times.
You did, but you caught it. Do you remember the one time you caught the mic?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So at the studio at 88.3, the floors are concrete, and they just have like a little thin thing over the top, like a thin layer or whatever. And I got caught up. I had my, that's it.
Do you hear
That's
that?
it. I hear it.
All right.
Do you guys hear
That
it
is
too, or is it just us?
All right, wait for your cue, and then we'll do a podcast together. Everybody
Was
ready to
that
do a
a tease?
podcast together? All right. This is so different. This is
I know,
being really
I know.
interesting. All right,
I
ready?
feel like I'm going to be distracted the whole night.
Uh-huh.
Like a squirrel. You know, like that.
Nice. Live from the bunker, except not the bunker. It's actually a Classic Rock Coffee. It's Shoe the Dough with Aaron and Deneé. Good. They did it.
We paid everyone to do
Well,
that.
welcome to another episode of Shoe the Dough,
Yeah.
a very different Shoe the Dough with a live audience, and we'll be kind of giving a little gander at some of the subjects that we do, the different kind of segments that we do, and also
It's a variety show.
Yeah, you need to be ready for a couple things. This is going to be different because we're in front of a live audience, so that'll actually impact what you're hearing in the podcast. There'll also be some audience interaction, some Q&A, like questions and answers. So be thinking if you have any questions for us. We'll
It
do
can
that
be
towards
anything.
the end. Can be anything you want to know about us, from us, whatever you want to know.
Whatever you want to know.
There'll be some interactive
Are you wearing
games. some fun
deodorant today? No, forgot that part. I'm sorry. It's just.
Is the entire show going to be about your smell?
Listen, it's just prominent in the. It's like right.
Don't you
here.
think it's more prominent in your head than it is in anybody else's?
Not anymore. I'm talking about it a lot.
Like, I would not have even noticed if you hadn't brought it up. Like, now I would notice. Now I would definitely notice. Thank you. That was very, very kind.
Yeah.
It's-
You were saying?
It's flowers. Just flowers and rainbows that just happened. So there's going to be a little bit different in the podcast. We're going to have a little bit of fun doing it, but we do want to kind of bring you the basic stuff that we usually do. And so we're going to start off today's show with what we call a Sift Pop segment. Deneé, tell us about it, what Sift Pop is.
Sift pop culture. Woo, 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 woo. I've never done that before, but that worked really, really well.
See, I can buzz you anytime I want to.
Did
right
you
there.
load the buzzers in?
I did.
You do this to me all the time. Okay. Sift Pop is our pop culture segment, so we talk about movies. And today we're going to be reviewing a movie with our friend Andrew Ormsby. If you want to come on up here. Andrew,
Please welcome Andrew
from Flick Freaks.
from the Flick Freaks YouTube.
Woo! So usually our Sift Pop podcast episodes are an hour long, just like our regular talk show, but we're going to obviously condense that for you tonight.
Oh my goodness, you brought a hat.
Ahoy.
You're even wearing your Ahoy shirt.
You know, I could...
Get right up on this bad boy. Like, you got to, like, love it.
I would
Or you
s-
can hold it.
No, I'm all right.
Okay.
I would say that I'm wearing the shirt to promote the store, but it's more the fact that I'm very egotistical, so having a
Well-
shirt with me on it, yeah.
I don't know if you've looked behind us, but there are giant faces
Touche.
looming over us. So,
This face
when did you
I'm
get that
giving
hat?
Aaron, for real. This
Was
is
that-
like real. Really, guy?
Amazon, $5.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. So, how you been?
Living the dream.
Yeah, what's going on?
Went and saw Hunger Games, Mockingjay
I
Part
feel like I'm in your
2.
way.
Yeah.
Part
I-
two, three, do.
And I guess that's why you invited me on stage.
We just wanted to drill you.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right,
We
so
are going
let's-
to be reviewing Hunger Games for you just real quick. No spoilers. We don't do spoilers on the show. We also have a spoiler segment, though. So if you did want to get a spoiler episode, you can do that, too.
All right, let's start off.
Who's read the books?
Yeah, who's read
Anyone?
the Hunger Game books?
You've read the books? And you guys have too? Anyone over here?
I swear I'm the oldest. Okay, no, you. I thought I was the oldest one here that read those books.
I read the books too, so that was interesting.
Who's seen the movies but hasn't read the books? Okay,
Two
a much
quiet
more
people.
silent crowd.
They're
Look
like,
at that.
I think they're embarrassed.
I'm getting all these
Don't be
notifications.
embarrassed.
I think I
That's
should mute my-
banned. If you guys are getting notifications, that's banned. That means we've got activity happening.
Well, maybe I'll just leave it up then.
Aaron,
People
at the
are interacting.
beginning of the show, it says you can have your phone out, but keep it on silent.
That is true.
Seriously.
That is true. We are a phones up
It's
show.
on the
Just try to-
brochure.
That's right. It is there.
We have a brochure.
Well, a program. See, it
The
says there
program,
for,
sorry.
that
Cool.
Andrew would know about. So let's talk a little bit about Hunger Games. Andrew, we'll start with you. Generally, what did you think? Liked it, loved it, it was okay, didn't like it, hated it?
If I was the demographic for this movie, I would love it, but I am not, so I didn't.
You did not. So did you hate it or you just didn't like it?
I'm going to stick with okay, disliked it, somewhere in between there.
All right, Deneé?
How close are you to sliding into hatred? Just out
No,
of
not,
curiosity.
I'm not close to hating this
Okay,
movie.
okay.
No.
I liked it, and the more I think about it, I still just sort of like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the liked it category too. I think it's a well-made film. It's obviously they know what they're doing.
With
It
a
has
huge
some
budget.
It has a lot of flaws,
Explosions.
but I think it's a decent movie. Let's talk quickly about the positive things. What's one thing you really liked about the movie? Deneé, you start this time.
Oh, you get to see Katniss again. She's cute. I love her.
Really? All they had to do was show up and put Katniss on the
She's
screen,
wearing
and you're
adorable
good.
outfits and running around and shooting people.
Andrew, you remember when you said not in the demographic for this this movie? I
I don't know.
Somebody who might
Jennifer
be.
Lawrence.
It is cool to go back into this world again and to see that they're actually doing more service to the book. So those of you who have read the books, this particular movie actually hits those notes way better than we've seen in previous. Like, I think the first one did a pretty good job. Second one was doing pretty good. Third one was awful. Fourth one, I think they hit the book pretty well. So
Didn't you feel like this movie started slow? Like the entire third Hunger Games movie was so slow. Like nothing happened. And then like the first hour of this movie, nothing happens as well.
Yeah.
Like it takes them a while to get there, right?
I thought we were starting on the pros, but yeah, that was definitely.
But you're, yeah, I did too. Yeah. You skipped straight to the negative. Did you have a positive?
Oh, right,
or?
right. What did I like about this movie?
How about the love triangle?
When he said starting on the prose, I thought he meant like poetry and prose. I was like, were we supposed to have written something out?
No.
Like, did I blow
Katniss, your hair
I
is
do
like
want to talk
silk.
about that love triangle though, real quick.
Yeah.
It's no competition. Am I right? You pick Liam Hemsworth if you're going to pick either Josh or Liam. Yes, thank you. You pick Liam. If you had to pick one of them to spend the rest of your life with, just be wrapped up in their arms and feel true security, it's Liam. Yeah, I did
You
not
thought about
get an
this a
applause
little
like I
too
thought I was
much,
going to
Andrew.
get.
The PETA lover just
PETA.
went, oh. But what about the short underdog?
That's right. What about the damage-sensitive guy?
What
I mean,
about the
come
one
on.
that went into the Hunger Games and survived?
Guys, we are not going to spend this entire time talking about
No.
the love triangle. That is
Okay.
not going to happen on my watch.
I will say this, the direction of this movie and the CGI, all that stuff, was actually surprisingly better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought it was good too. That was quality.
I think for me, the main positive was, one, Jennifer Lawrence is an incredible actor. She does an
Yeah.
amazing job. She outacts this
think-
material in
Is
a lot
it
of ways.
supposed to be actor for both, or is it actress?
And different
Just
people say
genuine
different
question.
thing. Yeah, no, I think there is a movement for kind of taking the gender out of it. You know, it's just an actor. But
And there's
some
also
people
a
say
movement
actress
for the
and
women to
actors,
get
yeah.
paid the same too.
Yeah, that's always a thing.
That's
as
going to
well.
happen someday, right?
But as good as she is, she's still not the best performance in the entire
Who
movie.
is?
Who
Who
is?
is?
Donald Sutherland is still the best performer.
Yeah.
in
Who
this
is that?
Snow.
Oh, I
President
like Snow.
Yeah.
I mean, he's weird in the movie, but he does a good job.
That's why he's good. He kills that performance. He's really
I'm glad
good.
you didn't say he kills somebody, because that'd have been a spoiler. You just said he kills the performance.
I
He
can't say
scared
that,
me.
and I can't talk about future helicopters either.
Helicopters are a spoiler on the show.
The other thing I like is the action stuff. I think that's really, really good. They did a great job. Once it gets moving, this movie really, the action really
I
owns.
feel like I'm sinking.
All right, how about worst thing? And I'll start since I've already kind of said it. This movie takes forever to get going.
You already
like
said that.
forever. Okay,
Move
that's
on.
mine. Andrew, what's your thing that you didn't like?
One of my
I got it.
One of my cons is
Hi.
actually the action in this movie, because every single time something is about to happen, either the camera flashes away or somebody splashes water onto the camera and you can't tell what's going on. Yeah.
you're wrong.
Nope.
That,
Fight, fight, fight.
No.
I actually thought when I was watching like
Arm wrestle.
no, thank you. When I was watching the let's just say the tunnel scenes,
Yeah.
that won't give anything away.
that was
right.
the highlight of the movie. But
Okay,
Still.
I just thought it reminded me at times of Lord of the Rings, like how well choreographed it was.
What?
Yeah, like I was like, wow, there's Gimli with his axe,
Have
and
you
there's
only
Legolas with
seen
his
3
bow.
movies? Are they Hunger Games and Lord of the Rings?
No, I really had that thought. A total, I think that would be
6.
7 movies.
7?
Yeah, 400
You
games.
can't.
in.
Oh yeah.
Anyhow, so
can't count.
So yeah, I would disagree with that. But you thought it suffered from like, we don't have time to choreograph this well, so let's throw a distraction.
Okay, I think it was more just the way they shot it I had a problem with, but I could tell the choreography in it was really good, like especially for a Hunger Games movie.
So there's some
when
good
it's
action
supposed to
scenes.
be like toned back from violence as normally what you see in those movies. This movie doesn't shy away from violence in the way the other ones did.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah, I would agree with that. Deneé, what did you have on the negative side?
The story has come to an end.
What is that?
It's sad. It's Aaron's phone.
It's people interacting on band.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so we left it. I mean, I can mute it, but I thought we decided to leave it up.
I just didn't know
I
what
can
it was.
smell Deneé's pits from here. Guys, really? Just kidding.
It was me.
I posted it. No, I didn't have a lot of negatives except for what you already mentioned. The pacing was a little off for me. Oh, I guess I would mention this. So if you're not used to the Hunger Games world or you haven't read about it, they don't go into some things I expected them to go into. There's a couple really interesting character developments, some really cool backstories about some of the characters, and I don't want to spoil too much, but they just don't really dig into that storyline, and that really bummed me out because When we talked about it earlier on our podcast today, it was really evident that some of that world, like in the Capitol, they do a lot of like bio stuff, and they change DNA, and they make like scary creatures and things like this. And like really a lot of that doesn't make itself known in this movie, and so quite all of a sudden you're reminded that this isn't, our universe, it's a totally different universe. They didn't really do a good job, I think, of bringing to life a lot of that stuff. We talk about it in the spoilers a little bit, but they don't really develop even President Snow as much as I would have liked for them to have.
I remember when you started saying some of the stuff that happens in the book that they don't really even touch on in the movies.
And it was fascinating, right?
It was incredibly fascinating. And I remember it was either me or Josh, who was on the show with us today, said, why didn't they make that movie? And I kind of agree. There's a movie with some of that stuff you were talking about in the book that would have been, I think, a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But I know they wanted to focus on the,
But it's still overall
stuff.
good. I still thought it was a good movie, though.
What did you guys think about how they dealt with Philip Seymour Hoffman's absence in the movie?
That's a good thing to also hit on before we wrap up.
Let's just say this is his last movie, and you can definitely tell that they toned his character back a lot. From what I figured they were going to do, just have him in the background and stuff. But no, he was very toned back in this movie, a lot more.
It felt like those were scenes that had already been shot from the other movies that they kind of cut and pasted.
Or he did part of it, like maybe he did some of it before he passed away, and they did it. It was interesting too because you can tell that they try to bring his character back in. The character is a huge important role in the film, or in the books rather.
Was any of that CGI?
He was CGI in a couple of them, but you really couldn't tell, which was nice.
I didn't think he was CGI. I thought
really
they just cut him from other places. I guess he was a little foggy in the background.
Just take scenes or clips from other movies, maybe.
I saw a movie recently, and they'd CGI'd somebody that had passed away. It was so creepy.
Fast Five or
yeah.
Paul Walker,
whatever the newest
so
one is.
Weird.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, my youngest son has. What's the song in the Fast and Furious movies?
I don't know, but it was tragic.
There's this song, and he plays it on repeat all the time. He's like, Dad, have you seen the Fast and Furious movies? Yes, I've seen the Fast. This song's from the Fast and Furious. Thank you, son. I appreciate you telling me. He plays it all the time.
Is it time for one more thing yet?
Yeah, let's do our one more thing.
One more thing. If you decide to stick around for the credit, there isn't a secret credit thing that I know about, but Jennifer happens to sing in the credits again, and we heard her sing in the last movie. And so she sings a little bit more, and I think she has a really great haunting voice. She's got a super kind of neat, gruff, growly voice, and I think she sounds fantastic. She was terrified to sing, and they had to really coax it out of her. It was more horrible for her than just some awkward scenes in movies. So, but I think she sounded really good. So that's my one more thing, is at least listen to a little bit of it.
I'll go next. My one more thing is, if you watch a movie like this on opening night, with a crowd full of the demographic for a movie like this,
tweens,
it makes for a very interesting viewing experience because they are in it. When the love triangle, when members of the love triangle would have a smooch, the place just melted. It was incredible.
And a character dies, and there's someone down there people are consoling her.
Yeah.
It was for real.
I went to the morning show for this, and you could tell the parents that just got off a 10-hour shift, they had to take their kids to the show, and they were just tired. And no, the kids were awake, and they were totally into it. And I'm like, it's 10 in the morning. You shouldn't be this excited. But no,
they're excited.
They know how to make a movie for that audience.
Yeah. And maybe to the detriment of the movie a little bit.
I think so.
But whatever.
It's a little bit, especially when they're laughing during. Oh, wow.
That's my girls over there.
Wow. Yes, I think
so
you were at the
cute.
movie we went to. I think I saw you a few rows ahead of us. Yeah. What about you, Andrew? What's your one more thing?
One more thing. I really do think that out of all of the books, out of the movies and the books, this one was the most authentic to the books, like you said. Even though it was technically just half the book, but that half was dead on like how it was supposed to be.
Can we all agree it should have been one movie instead of two?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we all agree that?
What do you guys think? No.
You thought it was a good decision to make it into two movies?
That's actually the marketing team that's making money off it being two movies. They're here tonight.
Head of marketing,
Wow.
Justin Hughes, is here tonight
Wow.
for the Hunger Games.
Thanks for joining us.
Amazing. Well,
Cool.
thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that. Round of applause for Andrew. You can check him out on YouTube.
Yep.
at Flick Freaks.
He
Andrew, do
does
you have
reaction
anything?
videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
They're
he does
fun.
great stuff on YouTube. Do you have anything you want to say before you head out?
Yeah, my stuff's less family friendly than yours, but
It's good to know.
That's good
Good
heads
to
up.
know.
It's a good
Yeah.
heads up.
I probably needed to say that, but
Yes.
yes. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
coming
thanks,
on.
Andrew. Thanks for joining us.
So there's just a
Appreciate it.
little example of our stiff pop culture. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit and go into our next segment.
Deneé, would you like to introduce our next guest?
I would. We're going to be doing
I
a
just
segment.
shuffled my paper like a show host.
that our next guest is my best friend, Ida. And Ida, you want to come up here?
Round of
This is your
applause
seat now.
for Ida.
So this is going to be really fun. As I mentioned earlier, we've talked about it before. One of our favorite things about having a longer form conversation on our talk show / podcast is being able to have deeper conversations. This is stuff where you kind of want to go into more when you're talking to somebody, but it's not the time. So we have a segment on our podcast called No Longer Safe. And what that means is we're going to be going into a topic that's got more serious undertones, so you can listen to it when you're ready on particular topics. We actually have 2 people here that have been on the podcast before segment. Janelle is also here. She's also joined us on a No Longer Safe segment. So, and my brother, yes, because he
That's
was
right.
on one as well. So we've got 3 here. These are topics that, I guess I'll just, do you want to tell everybody what your episode was called?
I want to tell everybody that you're so cute.
Oh, thank you.
I'll just be over here, guys.
And
You
you're
guys just
not
want
the
to.
oldest one who's read the books. I'm so old that just since the show started, I've had to, I need to go pee. So you stink. I need to go pee.
Awesome.
All right.
Scoot up towards the mic so we can hear you.
Well,
Don't
it's a
be
little
afraid.
awkward. When have I
This
ever been
is your
afraid?
friend. Look at this. Look at it. It's so cute.
And thank you for inspiring her. She's been an absolute blast for 10 years.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
That guy means everything.
That came out of the side there.
So, what was your podcast title?
Atheism.
Atheism.
That's right.
My friend Ida is an atheist, and that was one of the first conversations we wanted to have was how can we find common ground even if we don't think the same? So
Our heart really in a lot of what we do is to really offer a way of connection to people. So when we, have fun, when we do something, we like to make sure we're connecting in that way. And a lot of times you see in our culture especially, it's about division, it's about separation. And we want to tear those walls down and build bridges instead so that we can have conversations with each other. And when we do talk to each other, if we're in like a divide, it's often so antagonistic that we want to eliminate that from what we're doing. In other words,
yeah, I had to convince her to come onto the podcast. Her,
I think Ida needs
hold on a
something.
second,
I think
yes,
Ida.
ma'am.
Yes, Ida.
Okay, but that's the beautiful thing about you guys is that you open those communication lines because it used to be that people didn't just draw a line and stay on one side or the other and there's no crossing that. You can agree to disagree. It's a beautiful thing. Okay.
We can be on different. We can be on different sides of an idea or something, but still have a commonality. Still find that human connection, even
Well,
if
like
we're
us.
different. Yeah, exactly, because we believe differently, but we're still best friends.
And respectful.
Yes, that's a huge component of it. She had one stipulation for coming on the show, and really, we're not going to go into a deep topic here because those are conversations for a time, when we're all kind of in that same space together. But we wanted to show you kind of another element of our podcast. But anyways, her stipulation was, you can't pray for me at the end. I don't want to have a come to Jesus moment at the very end of the podcast where you lay hands on me and try to heal me or something.
Well, Ida, we have saved that for now. Everybody gather around. We'd like to lay hands on Ida.
Oh my God.
I haven't lost an arm. I still love people.
So we wanted to ask you, what was it like coming on the show? Walking into, at the time when we did her podcast episode, it was when we were still at 88 Point Through the Wind. And so we had her come into the studio at the station, which is a Christian radio station. So she had to go on to Christian soil,
I had my daylight ring on.
So she walks in, she's looking around like she's about to go to war. She's like, all right, I'm here. But I want to know, from your perspective, what was it like, not just to talk about your beliefs, but to go in and then come out on the other side and then listen to other No Longer Safe episodes kind of since then?
Well, I had never met Aaron. So
Yeah, that was
I just knew you vicariously.
right. What were you expecting?
Or am I like, oh no.
Oh, I got this.
Okay. Oh, I got my own personal holder. Thank you, Live. So now I'm like echoing. I'm freaking myself out now.
Now you're being heard.
Sorry. Anyway, so I was kind of a little bit, how Christian-y are you? I mean, are you going
How
to like
Christian-y
come
am
at
I?
me as, brimstone and fire kind of thing or not? No, you were great. It was just instant comfortable, which I kind of knew it was going to be because, she can make any situation comfortable.
Right.
She's
Or
the
uncomfortable,
great equalizer.
depending on how she's feeling.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, but it was nice. I thought it was a very nice conversation about just being people, you
Yeah.
know, and our experience. I think we each took a turn talking about our experience, and that was,
It was amazing. It was our first episode of this segment. You were our first No Longer Safe guest.
And you just jumped right on in there, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, what was amazing to me was how quickly we were able to just listen to each other.
Right.
And because I think what we see so often is, again, I want you to hear what I'm saying instead of listening to the other person first and then
We
responding.
listen to have a response ready.
Right. And our responses weren't to prove each other wrong.
Right.
They were responses to communicate our ideas and our thoughts and our feelings. And I think that's really valuable.
Since then, we've actually we've had subject of divorce, we've had megachurch pastor. That was a really interesting one too, because, we talk about people misjudging each other, mislabeling each other, and trying to, figure out our common ground. And it seems pretty obvious, like Christians talking to an atheist. That's like, that's going to be an interesting conversation. But to talk to like a megachurch pastor too, and to find out that they're just, everybody has something going on where they've been misunderstood. But when it comes to talking to somebody who is a Christian, if I say I am a Christian, there's just this awkwardness that immediately jumps up because there's that assumption that there's going to be that judgmental
Try telling them you're an
conversation.
atheist.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah. And she also works in a hospital, so when you say that stuff, you get a lot of reactions.
I actually had one gentleman who was just, he was so sweet all day long, and he was critical. He just had surgery, and I was taking care of him, and we just had been getting along, and I'm taking care of him and his family and everything else, and as I was walking out of the room, he said, "Have you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, or Lord and Savior?"
Lord and Savior.
You got it, Ida. Well done.
Sorry. Thank
you. Got
you.
It.
Thank
Good
you.
job. I can correct your verbiage later
And
if
it's
you want.
like,
Did you feel like you're like, here it comes, I'm about to
it's
tell
like
the truth?
I've walked down this road, and I navigate very calmly because I mean no harm in my path. And I turn around and say, well, I have a different belief system.
Instead of being like, I'm an atheist.
Yeah, I didn't go, I'm an
You're
atheist.
like, I have a different belief.
Your God is dead.
Okay, I actually did one time tell a little
Oh, no, you
confused lady.
didn't.
No, there's a
No,
story.
you
No.
didn't. Okay.
No. Okay, so we had this call light system. This was back in the old days when it was fun to be a nurse. And so there was this little confused little lady who, she just would not go to sleep. And we had tried everything. We tried.
What do you mean, like?
We tried an
rest,
officer.
or do you mean like?
We tried
go to
putting
sleep?
on an officer and the gentleman, we were watching movies where the lights are on, the lights are off. She's turned, somebody's holding her hand. She would not go to sleep. So I did.
What did you do?
I hit the microphone and I said, I can't remember her name, but I said, "This is God. You need
Claire?
to take a nap now."
Did you really?
Okay, so there you go. This was 20 years ago.
Confession time.
Confessions of a cardiac nurse.
I have a question for you. Let's go into this just a little bit because I do have a question. Like, I get very particular about my words, right? And so my beliefs are, I try to have them reflected in how I speak or what I say. So, like, as an atheist, do you find yourself, because there are these cultural things that we say,
She was like, God's a female? Sorry, go ahead.
so there are these cultural things we say, like, thank God or something like that. Is that
Right.
something like, so as somebody who doesn't believe in God, are you careful not to say that, or is it just kind of a cultural thing that gets said?
I don't know.
or-
It kind of goes back to the whole thing with, I like me being a natural person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a teetotaler. I mean, if I, when, when my utility bill is $200 less than a month, it's like, oh, thank God,
Right.
It's a habit thing. But,
I was just curious.
so it's not like it's, my tongue doesn't start burning or anything like that. When I say it, because, I grew up in the Ozarks, like somebody said, the heart of the Ozarks, the more things than alcohol is churches, bars and churches. So I don't drink either, just to let you guys know.
Were you feeling judged?
That's another.
I don't go to
episode
church
of No
or
Longer
drink.
Safe.
Anyway, but yeah, those colloquialisms show up.
Okay, I was just curious. I
Yeah.
just thought I'd throw that in
Yeah.
there.
I
Deneé,
hold
what-
I hold
And I
that
don't
against
smack
you, Ida.
people if they say like, thank God in front of me or anything like that. I
That's
don't
true. I can attest to that.
know. Yeah.
Because I've been over to her
She
house.
gets churchy. She gets Christian sometimes.
Yeah, something happened unexpected. I didn't expect to become a Christian. My first thought when I became one was, oh no. Oh no, no, no. I believe. Oh no. Asked my parents. They were there. And then I had to, the reason that I was dreading it in a way was because I had to tell my friends. And she was one of them. Oh, the judgment. That was a crazy conversation. That's
It was.
another topic.
It was
though.
another
We could
topic.
talk for hours on
That's
that one.
another thing, darling.
Deneé,
It
what
is.
do you remember about that day? Like, what are some of your recollections about those moments, about what happened? Do you have any...
Becoming a Christian?
No. About when Ida came to talk with us that first time.
Back to the topic at hand.
Yes. Let me wrestle us back to where we were.
Right. I was cracking up because I know Ida and I know you. And when I met Aaron, I went back and reported, never expected to end up in Christian radio. Hilarious joke, God. That's funny. I really don't know. I am not a safe person to have on the radio because I like to be honest about my thoughts, and I'm okay with saying I don't know what's going on, but this is what I think is going on. And so I was really nervous about that. So when I became a Christian, I reported back to I called it that I was reporting live from inside the Christian bubble because most of my friends at that time were not Christians. I had one Christian friend. That's shifted now. It's been 4 years. Now the lines are different. But anyways, I remember reporting back to her going, okay, I think I actually found a pretty cool one.
Thanks.
He doesn't judge. I've
That's not
told
true.
him just about everything going on in my life, and he didn't freak out. So,
That's true.
So when you guys met, it was really cool because I knew that there was going to have to be who are you and how is this going to work out? So I was entertained. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was
was
good.
having a
And
good time.
one of the reasons I love these conversations too is I think it helps us all kind of really confront our beliefs. Really just kind of look at them from the eyes of somebody else. When we have Ida in, I'm able to kind of see myself and what I believe through her eyes, through her perspective, and I think that's really valuable. To kind of be able to do that. Did you feel the same? That what's the word? Reciprocity? That's probably not the
That's
word.
too big of a word.
Yeah.
Let's think of another one.
Did you feel that too? How was that? Did that work?
I feel something weird now.
Well, we can
You
move
don't have
on.
to answer that. Move on. Way to make it awkward, Aaron.
I'm sorry. I tend to do that. Hey,
Did
it's
you
no
feel
longer safe.
reciprocity,
Yes.
Ida?
Ida, tell me how you really feel about me.
I love you.
That was my wife laughing. If anybody wants to know, who was the one laughing the hardest at that? That was my wife.
I love you. I love you, darling.
I love you too,
Anyone
Ida.
who can survive along with me in this experience.
I'm with you.
We're like there's like a soul.
We can identify
connection
with
here.
each other.
Yeah. It's
Survivors
like
of
ADHD.
Deneé.
ADHD.
Yes. That's
Right here.
fun.
Sod.
Sod. That sounds awful. Isn't that grass?
I think it is.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
All right.
Deneé, you're like sod, man.
Also,
Sod.
one thing we haven't talked about, but we're going to get to, we have a big announcement about some possible plans we're doing on Mixler, but Ida might be part of those plans.
It's true. It's okay. Just hang out. You'll know. Before we move on, I do want to say at the end of our No Longer Safe segments, we always ask our guest to speak to the audience. Like, you have a microphone, speak to the audience. And they usually say something like, I wish that people would know this about me. I wish that people would not think this or misjudge me on this. And they kind of have a moment where they can speak to the audience. And Ida's was one of my favorites. She says, when you find out that I'm an atheist, try not to act as though my arm just fell off. And I always thought that stuck with my head. It's important for us to kind of learn how to react to different people. But Thank you for being our first guest and for taking a chance on what we're doing here and the culture we're trying to build. We really appreciate
You're very
that.
welcome. I enjoyed it.
And thanks for being on our live show.
Woo!
Let's give it up for Ida. Thank you, Ida. Much appreciated. If, as always with any of this stuff, by the way, if you have any suggestions for
Comments, questions,
topics
peanuts.
that you would like to, us to talk about, just let us know. You can, thank you. You
so
can
annoying sitting right by you.
You can let us know those in the band app, or you can email us, Aaron and Deneé.
Especially if you have an idea, like for the No Longer Safe stuff. If you want to hear a particular topic kind of addressed, or you can think of somebody that might feel comfortable coming into the studio and chatting with us. Because now our studio is in his basement.
It is.
So it's just like having a
It is literally
garage
we
band.
have a storm shelter in our basement, concrete, all four walls, and we've converted it into our studio. So
for the last year plus.
that's why I say live from
The bunker.
Yeah, that's
Now you get it. We probably should have told you that earlier, but whatever.
All right, Ida, would you do me a favor? I left a box back on the sound table. If you would bring that up to me. It's back in the box.
Oh,
It's in the box.
excellent.
Before we get there, since I forgot about this announcement when we were talking about Mixlr, I want to make this big announcement. This is a big announcement for the podcast.
You're pregnant.
I am showing, but I am not pregnant. So take that for what it's worth.
Every time I call someone, I'm like, all right, I got to tell you something. It's like the first thing I think of, so.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not
bad
me
joke,
usually.
Bad joke.
It usually doesn't happen with me. Not usually. So thanks for being the first.
Yeah.
The big announcement about the podcast is in 2016, we are looking at taking Shoe the Dough from a podcast to a podcast network. We are looking at launching a 24/7 live podcast network that will stream. So anytime you want to tune in to conversation or fun stuff, we're going to program it with some really interesting stuff to listen to.
You guys
and
know what
to
an
hear.
internet radio is? Yeah, that's good. You guys are right on it. I'm going to ask you again. Do you know what internet radio is? So it's like that for little mini podcast talk shows. So
And we are in
you'll be able
talks.
to tune in.
We're in talks right now to have our morning show that we have syndicated across the country be able to stream on that
The
with
radio
music
show.
as well.
Yes.
So that our morning show then would be available to interact with as well.
So from
through
6 to 10 in the
that
morning, you
app.
can tune in and you can hear the music and you can hear our show and then you can hear podcasts as well. So, and it's not just what Aaron and I are doing. We actually are bringing in people who are passionate about podcasts and doing shows, and we're helping them to put their show out too. So if you guys have any ideas on that, that's good as well. And now,
All right, for our
next trick.
final segment
This is it.
of the podcast,
We're in the final stretch.
we
before-
thought we'd have a little fun with the live audience and play a little bit of
Would You Rather?
right. So you can think about your answers along with us. Is that the Would You Rather theme song?
It is now.
Okay. Can I hear it again? I missed it. I was talking.
Would you rather?
Yeah, okay.
I
I
think
figured that's how it went.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's how it works when we play Would You Rather. Deneé asks me a Would You Rather question that
I wrote them down even.
that she has an answer to. I then tell her what my answer is. If we agree, we get it right. If we disagree, we have to talk about it until one of us changes our mind.
Usually it goes well. Now, if you have if you have a would you rather and you have a piece of paper, or if you want to write it down and bring it up, we will look at those as well. There's paper in the back left. Mother, wave your beautiful hand.
Yeah, if
She
you have a
has
Would You
paper.
Rather for us,
So
let us know.
we're just going to do a few.
So
but
we'll
if
go
you
back and
have
forth.
one-
We'll hand the page back and forth
Okay.
and do it that way.
Okay.
So you start.
All right. Would you rather live in an amusement park or in a zoo?
Live in an amusement park or a zoo? I'm going to say I would rather...
What do you guys think?
I'd rather live in an amusement park. That's not a hard question, right? Is that right or wrong?
I'd rather live in a amusement park too. Yeah.
There we
amusement
go.
park. I'm sorry. So here's why. Caged animals are depressing, people. That would be a horrible thing. Wake up every single day and just look at all these animals just sitting in their little cages like, I wish I were free. Although I'm finding out that zoos often take in creatures that don't have places to go.
See, for me, it's not that. For me, it's just like roller coasters. Like, if I'm going to have to live somewhere, I'd like it to be where there's roller coasters.
When I was considering the zoo option, it's that there's too many people at an amusement park. But then I remembered I have a job to do, and people watching would make for great radio.
Also, if you live at the zoo and you have to sleep there, what happens if, like, you know, the lion escapes and takes you out or something? Like, there's like death lingering around every bend.
You'd have to like become like a warrior. You'd have to be able to have your weapons, and you'd like at any point in time be able to just like hunt things.
All right, my turn.
Not your turn.
Any alternate?
We agreed.
Who would rather live in an amusement park? Who would rather live at the zoo?
You guys are crazy.
That's pretty even.
Yeah.
That's pretty even.
Oh, hey, I put the percentages by it.
Oh, you did. 75% of people said amusement park online. So there you go with that.
How
All right,
weird.
Deneé.
All right, I'm ready.
Would you rather see how or what created civilization, or how or what ends civilization? Ooh. Would you rather see the beginning of civilization or the end? See
Is it
what
like
happens.
all humankind? Is this what we're assuming? Like all like is the beginning of everything, or
civilization
as we know
so,
it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
something big's going down to end it. Something big happened to start it.
I think I would choose the beginning.
You would rather how it?
I would choose the beginning. Yeah, I think I'd want to see.
That
Okay,
is
go.
correct. That is the correct answer.
That's good. That's good.
Who would rather see the beginning of civilization? End of civilization? Wow. It's good to know.
These are awful.
You would worry. You would worry about the person who's like, I want to see the end of civilization. Bring it on.
Although, if you did see the end of civilization and then you started your life as normal, you would become one of those people who cry the end of the world. And
That's
nobody
right.
would
You'd be
believe
Chicken
you.
Little. Yeah, you would absolutely be Chicken Little.
Here it is. It's tomorrow.
Did we get a good one from the crowd?
Okay, I'm going to do this because it's from the crowd. We have to. Are you ready?
Are you going to like read it before you read it, or are you
I
just going to
already
read
read it.
Okay.
This is for
All right, here we
serious,
go.
guys. This is PG-13. Would you rather be steamrolled from your toes to your head, or put in a wood chipper from your toes to your head? Who wrote this? Who did this? That is serious. This is how you would prefer to die. We're gonna skip it and go to the next one. Would you rather kiss?
No.
Oh.
It's wood chipper. It's
Kiss.
wood chipper. Because it's quick. The steamroller from my toes to my head, a steamroller. I have to feel that the whole time.
Okay.
Oh, Ida.
Okay,
Oh, Ida.
we have the nurse that gives us the bouncing around in the wood chippers.
When's the wood chipper episode of No Longer Safe? Because
Here's what I want to do. I want to agree with you because I don't want to talk about it.
All right, good idea.
I just don't want to talk about it.
All right, I'll read another one from this sheet.
Okay. And
Would
if
you
he has
rather-
another one, bring it up.
Would you rather always disappoint people or always anger people? Which would you rather do? Always disappoint people or always anger people?
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to go with anger.
We're on fire tonight.
What? We never agree.
No, we never agree on this.
Are you
many-
doing this because it's
No,
live and you
absolutely.
feel
I would much
pressure?
rather. No, I would much rather anger people than disappoint. Did I anger you or did I disappoint
Did
you?
I anger you just now? I was
No.
trying.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
No. Is that what you would rather?
I'm really bad at. Here's why. I think that people get angry when you tell them your honest opinion about things, and I would rather be honest in my life and have a little bit of discourse than disappoint people because I'm already I'm already angering people and disappointing people. I think I could deal with the anger better.
They also kind of bleed
think-
into each other a little bit, right? Like they're kind of the same thing in many ways too. The anger comes from disappointment. Disappointment can come from anger.
I guess it depends on the kind of anger. Like if it's anger to the point of like stalking, that might be different. I might change my mind. Or yeah, because then I'd have to be a fighter. Did you say something about a wood chipper? Right, exactly. I don't.
Ida,
wanna
you're
get-
stuck on the wood chipper. We need to move on.
It's a visual
Okay?
that we all have. I'm sorry. That was my bad. Shouldn't have read it. Okie dokie. Okay.
It's your turn.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Next question from I think I know where, ladies. Would you rather kiss Peta or Gail, Aaron? You go first.
Okay, your turn.
That's not how the game works,
I
Aaron.
understand this is how the game is played.
Okay. Let's just assume.
Would you let me answer? I don't know why.
Whoa.
I don't know why that just happened. I
Hey,
apologize.
It's
I
because of that
apologize.
last. We need to talk
You made
about
me
something.
consider something that was painful to consider.
I know.
I was taking the time
I'm
to consider
sorry.
it.
Are
So
you?
let-
Are you? Do you need to take a minute?
I'm just no.
I mean, you are
No, I'm
thinking about
good.
kissing a man. It
I-
is a little
Just give me a
unnerving, I
second.
guess. You know.
PETA.
PETA. Why are we agreeing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
For me, it's just he needs affection. Like he's in trouble. You know, like I can just both hands, just like that.
Oh no! Okay.
that-
Okay.
On the forehead.
It landed in there.
That
It's
was-
still.
see, I tipped his head down, like on the forehead.
Stop
you know,
it,
just like
stop.
that man kiss on the forehead, just like, love you, dude. You know? Okay, thank you. All right. Oh, now she has the buttons now. We're in trouble. PETA. All right.
Nice. You
Thank
knew
you.
when the end was. It was
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, thank
okay.
you very much.
Do we have time for one more?
I think that'll be enough. I think that's
Okay.
good. I think our time is up. Round of applause for Would You Rather. Great questions, by the way.
That's fun.
Loved that. Very nicely done.
You'll find those types of segments on our random tandem. So when you're looking through the Shoe the Dough feed, anything that says RT, you'll find those there.
We would like to finish the podcast today, since we have the live audience, with some live questions. We didn't go over this, Sarah, but if you would grab this handheld microphone in case somebody has a question, you can take the mic to
microphone.
him.
Yeah, you can
We
walk
ask you to be
around.
thinking of questions earlier. Anything you want to ask us, anything that's on your mind or whatever. We just do a short Q&A, just a couple questions. Anybody willing to get us started with a hand? Anything? We've got
We
one
have
back
one right
here.
there. You can go back. You can go,
Sarah,
just
right
go
back there.
Straight back.
There we go.
Straight back now, Taylor. Do you really want to love?
No, Deneé.
That's my girl. You know you have a good friend when she sings along with you. Just saying.
Aaron, why do you wear your ring on your middle finger?
That's a great question.
That's a good question.
One thing
I bet I know the answer to that.
One thing I love about what we do is that we tell so many stories that we've heard each other's stories so many times.
It's true.
It's fun to answer each other's questions. So Deneé, why do I wear my ring on my middle finger?
Because it's a symbolic finger.
You heard the wrong story. That was
I had my opportunity and I seized it.
nicely done. No.
It's because it doesn't fit on the other one.
At one point.
Because it broke
No, it doesn't have to do
from
with
a
the fact
lightning
that-
strike.
No,
How do I
no.
know this and you don't, Deneé? Come on.
No. So I. What?
Keep talking.
Oh, go ahead. Thank you. There was one point in my life where I weighed over 400 pounds when I had this ring, and I lost a bit of weight, and so it doesn't go on my ring finger very well. So I wear it on my middle finger.
It's a symbolic finger.
And
It fits the one that fits the ring.
my wife and I have conversations about it too, because it does also have a crack in it from where I caught a baseball barehanded.
Lightning.
And I refuse to get it fixed because I think there's a lot of symbolism in the change of life and how you stick with something even when life is changing. And that's what marriage is a lot, is things change, hard times come, all that kind of stuff, but you stick with it and you're committed to it. So I kind of see my ring in that way. And that was actually from the very start of our marriage. This ring actually spent a night, 24-hour period at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean on our honeymoon. It slipped off while we were swimming and didn't find it till the next day. So this ring's been through a lot. So I kind of like, kind of the character of it and kind of what that metaphor is. So a little bit of a deeper answer, but.
That's a good answer.
Can I, as your wife, interrupt you?
Oh,
and tell
Jen's
you?
on the mic,
Whoa,
y'all.
whoa, hey,
Jen
I
is
love
on the
what a
mic.
beautiful woman.
Sarah gave me the mic. Thank you. But every time we're at a wedding and they talk about how the rings are a complete circle that's unbroken, I give you a dirty look. don't I?
That is true. That is true. That does happen every single time. Like I said, we go back and forth. So,
Next question. Anybody else have a question? Right up here with this
Andrew,
handsome mustached man. And then I think Tara has a
you
question.
do remember
too.
we're on our show, not yours. Just to be clear.
Hi, my name's Andrew. I'm a big fan.
Thanks.
Knowing what you know now, what would you like to have told yourself when you first started doing the show?
Ooh, I'll let you start, Deneé, since I answered the last one.
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Knowing what you know
I know.
now, what would you have? How was the end phrase? What would you have done differently, or?
Knowing what you know now, what would you like to have told yourself?
Told yourself. Okay, yeah.
You really are going to sit in front of people someday. This was one of the first things I wanted to do was figure out how to make it a community thing and fun. And so while we're doing this, for those who are listening live and for those who are in this room live with us, we really crave your feedback. We want to continue to grow this, and it's its very first expression, and we want to continue to see what it can go into, because we really feel like there's something fun and unique that can happen together as a community, and it's not about the show that we are doing. It's that we have an opportunity to have a platform for us to do something fun. So that's one of the things I'd be like, yeah, it's really going to happen. We're really going to keep going.
I
Yeah.
love that answer.
Thank you. Next question.
I would have just told myself to loosen up a little bit more. I was very much one of the interesting things about Deneé, when she came in and did the show, immediately she was just herself. And you don't often
What?
see that. When people get behind a microphone the first time, there's usually what we call mic fright, and it changes their personality a little bit. They're a little more, and for Deneé, she was just the same
Something's
behind the mic.
straight wrong with me.
Yeah, very, very wrong. And for me, I had that a little bit, and I was, I have a tendency to perform, and I think I would have told myself, before I
Be
got
more
started.
like Deneé.
Be
I hear
more
what you're
like-
saying.
Yes, that is exactly
I
it.
hear what you're
I would have
saying.
just told myself, be more like that girl you've never met that someday you'll meet and do a show with. Yes, that's exactly right. Any more questions?
It's funny because there's one over here. It's funny because you have the structure and I don't. I've actually learned about having more structure too. So
Right.
we've sort of rubbed off on each other a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's your question?
We're curious why you're not on the wind anymore.
I wondered if we'd get that question tonight.
I have been looking forward to this one.
Have
I
you really?
have. Yes, because
How are you going to answer it?
we've had a year and a half-ish now since we resigned from the station, and it really comes down to how do you talk about a huge thing just really respectively, and really what it comes down to is Aaron and I had an opportunity to do syndicated radio. So what that means is that the show that we were doing on the station got a lot of attention, and people wanted to play it in their stations too. And at the very beginning of that, everybody seemed to be on board with it in management and between us. And then some things just started shifting and doors started closing and things started feeling different. And it was really hard. It was one of the hardest things I've ever been through.
Both sides, I think. I mean, I think we feel the
Because
same way on both sides.
we love doing the show, and we still do our show. We would love to be back in that seat, and we would love to be doing our show for the Ozarks. This is where we live. This is where I grew up, and maybe someday it'll come back around. We don't know. But when the choice came down to it, we were looking at, we got to make a choice. Do we do the show in one place, or do we let it be in many? We really both felt, our families felt that it needed to go to wherever it could go. And that just didn't line up. So we just respectfully resigned because that wasn't their vision at the time. So that's kind of the easiest way to answer
Yeah,
it.
I
And
think
it
so.
was really difficult
Thank
for
you.
everybody involved.
I think for everybody involved, it was difficult, but I think it's just,
A lot of healing has happened too. I mean, it's like one of those things where you're like, why? Everything feels so good. It feels so, like
Right.
I'm having a greatest time. And you're like, why is this coming to an end? And then you just have to kind of wonder. And then since then, our show is now, on, I think, 19 stations across the country now. And so we're really experiencing what it could mean for people to hear two voices that just go at topics and conversation on Christian radio a little bit different. We're okay with not putting on the, Jesus every single break, and we're okay with talking from a real human weird level and letting me do strange things too. So, so hopefully it just keeps gaining in popularity, and we would love your feedback on that too. So thank you for asking. It's a really cool thing to be able to talk about it.
I love and cherish my time at 88.3 The Win. I love the people there. I really do have been impressed with, especially the work that we've done in the community while there, and that they've done since we've been there. And I think they feel the same way about us. They're rooting us on. They so I think there has been a lot of. It was difficult. You've probably had a time in your life, right, where you have a wonderful relationship, but it's time to do something else and move on. And I think everybody understood. You know, it was time to.
I'm gonna be honest. My fingers are crossed that something works out in the future. It could be like 5, 10 years. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just gonna go walk back in there. Hey guys, can I have your
Remember
microphone?
me?
Remember me?
Yes,
I'm
Deneé.
back.
Everybody remembers you. You make an impression.
And that's because I beatboxed on the radio my first week.
That's true. Then you absolutely did that. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Over here.
From the PETA and Gale table.
I think this will be our final question. Unless anybody want to take dibs on one more question if we do one more? All right, I think this will be our final question.
How and when did you guys meet?
Great question. Deneé walked in off the street and said, people tell me
That
I'd be
sounds
good
like
in
I'm
radio.
a streetwalker. Every time you say that, I didn't just like, hi, I got nowhere to go. Give me a microphone.
That is a spot-on impression of your first day at the
Shut your
station. That's
mouth.
amazing.
Just shut your mouth.
It was like I went back in time and Deneé had just walked in the door. It's incredible.
I mean, maybe there's just another way to say it.
Deneé walked
Had a
in.
career, everything was going wonderful in her life, and then all of a sudden,
Deneé left her corner on the street, came into the station. Was that better?
My Joes are after me. I think I want to talk about Jesus on the radio.
The truth is you came out of nowhere, right? You had been told that you would possibly be good on radio because of your personality, which, by the way, when somebody comes into a radio station and says, people tell me I'd be good at this, usually that's not the case. Honestly, I've seen it happen many, many times. With Deneé, it just happened to actually be the case. And so
I changed my whole entire world after that. So I was doing other things, and then this opened up, and it was a really interesting thing. But I literally had a conversation with them, and I would encourage you all, if someone tells you you should do this over and over and over and over and over, and it's not like my mom and dad were the only ones. It was just, you should call, you should do this, and it keeps popping up. One day I just said, okay, let's just silence the voices of everyone telling me that you should do this. And I called, and it was the most awkward conversation I have ever had. It went something like this. Hi, my name is Deneé, and people say I'd be good in radio, mostly my mom and dad. But anyway, I don't even listen to your radio station because I don't like Christian music, but I don't know. Do you need help or anything? I mean, I have things I can do. I don't even know why I'm calling you. I'm just getting ready. I'm looking at my face in the mirror, and I'm like, I think I have a zit. But anyway, can I come? Do you need somebody? I don't even know. I think I'm supposed to talk to someone named Chalmer. Who are you? Mike? Oh, am I supposed to? Okay. Is this making any sense? Somehow that got me the job. There was no job to be had, but it all worked out. It's a fun thing. It's just, jump in and don't be afraid to be weird and strange and take some risks, and crazy stuff might happen.
I had two or three other co-hosts in my career. I had about a 10-year career
He's been in radio
before.
for 15 years.
Yeah, I'd been in radio for about a decade before we met, and I had several co-hosts, and it was fine. We were able to, have fun on the radio and do some fun stuff.
I know where he's going to go with this.
But it was always like when the mics were off, like the walls went up, and there was, there's something about me, especially the first time you meet me, that gives off kind of a standoffish presence. It might be, my size, the intimidation, whatever.
He really does have a don't approach me face. Just watch it later.
Yeah.
He's like this.
And with, thanks, much appreciated. I love that you're always there willing to emphasize the negative parts of what I do. That's it. That's the one. Well
going,
done.
Aaron.
Okay. So when Deneé came in to talk about possibly doing stuff at the station,
I have a really poor visual cue issue.
I
didn't really see any of that and been like, I'm not supposed to talk to that guy.
Well, I threw a joke at her, and she volleyed back with another
it's called
joke.
conversing.
And but she didn't see any of those walls. And if you know Deneé, you know that. She doesn't see that stuff. And so it was really obvious that there was a real ability to have, that conversation and that fun. And so we were excited to try her out on the show.
He worked the system on the back end. He was like, hey, Mike, maybe you should call Deneé back. And then
that
he
is true.
Messages me on Facebook, are you really wanting to come and do the show? And I'm like,
So she came in and was supposed to be like a producer and just kind of be there and in the background and not do anything.
He was not supposed to put me live on air, and then he did. And then our bosses heard it, and they were like, we heard you. You weren't supposed to do that. But we liked it, so you can do it one more time tomorrow. So the next day, put me on twice instead of once. And this continued, and then by the end of the week, I was on every break the next week, and we just kind of ran after it.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days. Back when we were young.
As rebellious as that story makes me sound, it's no wonder we're not there anymore.
That's true.
Yeah.
You.
That was my fault. That was all my fault.
That
So,
was good. Thanks, guys,
yes,
for your
that was how we
questions. And
met.
if you ever think of any other ones, you're always welcome to approach us. We're on all the networks of social medias
Yeah.
because that's what you have to do these days. You got to hustle on the social medias.
Before we finish up the podcast, we did want to take a second to give a special thanks to supporters who make this possible. We use something called Patreon to help support the show. And that
Patreon.
yeah. So
We're going to ask for your monies. No, we really are.
there are people who give $1 a month, $3 a month, $5 a month.
It's like Kickstarter. So how it's a really cool website actually. They help artists, anybody who wants to sign up. And what you do is you set goals. And so we set a goal. We said, if you guys want our talk show to happen, we need to get to this much per month so we could get the right equipment. And then our fans said, yep. And they all popped in and they helped us get to that goal. Okay, guys, if you want us to go live 2 days a week, then that happens. So that's how we're 2 days a week. And we're getting close to going live 3 days a week. And that's how this happens, is people doing it. But rather than Kickstarter where you raise a whole bunch of money all at once, this is like a monthly thing.
And there are perks and stuff at the web. Like if you give a certain amount, there are certain
Hugs,
benefits.
yeah, that's
absolutely.
not true.
But one thing we wanted to do just tonight is even just say thank you to those, because I know there are several in here who do support us.
Patreon
And
people, come forth.
we would like to give you a special gift, so you
If
can
you
come get
support
it.
us
If
on
you're too
Patreon,
shy, you don't have to come see us later.
please
But we
come
would
up.
like to give you a little shoe.
We have a
For
shoe for you.
For shoe, yes. Yeah, it's a little keychain shoe for Shoe the Dough. And that way you can always kind of have us with you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for round of applause for the supporters. I would like to, by the way, if you go to patreon.com/Aaron and Deneé, you do $1 every month. Tonight, we will give you a gift tonight as well.
He
You can
has
have
more
one-
shoes.
There are more shoes. So if you want to support what we do, it's very much appreciated, and kind of help cover the expenses tonight as well.
Thank you guys so much for coming out to the show. We know that we've kind of done a variety type thing here with a little music and then a little bit of a variety show, a little different than what you've maybe experienced before for coming out to Classic Rock Coffee. For those listening online, thank you guys so much for streaming and for sharing with your friends and for being our huge shoers, our fans of what we do here at the podcast Shoe the Dough. And thank you guys again for coming out tonight, showing support. This has been a super interesting experience, so we're really curious for your feedback.
Yeah,
How did it
give us some
come?
feedback.
Was it
Listen.
all right? If no one's
What should
doing
we do
anything,
next time? Should there be a next
so,
time?
I don't know.
All
Like,
that kind of
like
fun
no one's
stuff.
even clapping or anything. It feels awkward. Maybe we shouldn't do this.
Give
anymore.
yourself a round of applause.
And that's the end of the podcast. So that's what we do. It doesn't always go easily and smoothly, but that went pretty well. Good job,
Yeah,
everybody. Thank you for your
Seriously,
participation.
thank you so much.
That worked
for
really,
everything you
really
did.
well.
There's still much more fun to come.
We are about to introduce.
We've got giveaways that we need to give away.
Yes,
So
and we're
what
gonna be
Deneé's going to do is
introducing
she's
an
going to
awesome
check the
band here in a
poll on
second.
band to see what accent you voted for, and then she's going to help Sarah with these giveaways with this accent that you voted for.
I am gonna
Sarah,
go
did you
check it
get
right
the winners from Bonnie?
We will be getting the winners right now.
I will
So
check.
what accent won, says Tara. Well, Tara, I'm going to find out. Pretty quiet here on band. Thanks for pointing that out, Van. Landon posted a picture. Oh, look at us. Okay, scrolling. Wow, you guys have been active,
Yeah, didn't you hear my phone?
right? But now I can't find the poll.
By the way, I should say we love our band fans. They're active, throughout the week, and it's a lot of fun.
Kevin Hawkins joined my band. That makes me so cool. All right.
By the way, when people got shoes, did I see Caleb? Caleb, you came? Where are
wondered
you
if-
from? Like, oh, that's
you drove
awesome.
in from Carbondale, Illinois to come to the show.
Yeah. Round of applause for Caleb.
Caleb is in our chat. He actually is one of our fans of the show. He's at every single time we go live. He's there, and he just started helping us out with our social media and everything, joining our.
When you came in to get
team.
shows, I can't believe that's Caleb.
I know. I saw you. I was like,
think that's him.
there's no way you drove. You drove in.
That's amazing.
You're so
Thanks for
good
being
at a
here,
hug.
man. Really,
Alrighty.
genuinely appreciate that.
Oh,
Thank
it is a tie between Boston and a pirate.
All right, how we get? I guess I get to break the tie, right? A Boston Pirate. Very nice. I like that.
I don't think I can pull off Boston.
All right. Well, you're gonna
have to do a pirate.
Okay, so Sarah's gonna come up and.
You lardy lady. What is lardy lady? Arg.
You got to do like the Pac, the Ka, and the Yod.
I'm doing it terrible. Will you come
JFK,
do it?
JFK was like the Boston classic thing.
You're going to have to announce the... Oh, you tell me the winner. Oh, all right. Van Shipley. You lubby lizard with your leg of peg.
Fail.
I am so terrible.
Arg, matey. Park your car in Harvard Yard and come get your prize. Thank
All
you.
right,
That
Van,
was
you
the
won the
Boston
big
Pirate.
band winner, and then we will do our Mixler winner here.
And we have a big announcement before Sarah announces the final group of the night. Another big announcement. We have decided everyone here gets a prize. We have a prize table back in the back. So
We'll be manning
stop
that
by.
station.
We'll be manning that, saying hello, and we'll give you something for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. So really appreciate you. Thank you guys, and stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. We still got some fun stuff coming up.
We do indeed.
All right, Sarah.
Let's give them a round of applause, Aaron and Deneé. Beautiful. Always hilarious. I love you guys. No, thank you so much.
Can we give Sarah a little love for taking some time?
Oh, you stopped the madness. As soon as I said it was a coffee shop, I was like, I'm in. Love coffee.
I love you guys.
Who cares? I need to go to bed, right?
Oh,
At some point?
maybe.
All right, so Aaron and Deneé wrapped up their thing, and now we would like to introduce to you Nate and the Saints. Come on up, Nate and the Saints.
While they're getting ready, I saw somebody's fading in music, which is great. While they're getting ready, I do want to let you know, actually, Nate from Nate and the Saints has joined us on the podcast, and we had a great time with him. He may be making a return visit to the podcast. He's here locally, so we're excited to have them kind of here tonight and hanging out with us. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, all that kind of stuff, we are going to be kind of mixing around, hanging out. We would love to chat with you, and thank you personally for being here tonight, because it's been absolutely fabulous. So once they're ready, they'll get going. We'll play some music before that, and make sure you hang around and listen to some Nate and the Saints.
Well, she's not Nate for sure. And I am not Nate either. It was exciting. We were actually, it's kind of crazy to think about. Like 14 hours ago, we were in New York City. And we had just a long Thursday night. And with playing music and getting back to the hotel and stuff. And Nate is sick. And I think they already mentioned that. But Nate is just not feeling well. So maybe if you can, say a prayer for him. We got home and he was just like, holy cow, guys, I'm not feeling well. And he said, hey, we'll try to do it. I'll try to do it. And just a little bit before we came here to set up and whatnot, he said, there's just no way possible. But he said, hey, will you guys go be the Saints? And so here we are. And my name is Micah, and this is Kelsey. And I think there's Nick over here who plays bass. And then Ian is in the crowd somewhere as well. There he is, yeah. And they were going to be up here, but we're going to do acoustic. So it's myself and Kelsey. We're going to play some music for you. Hey, how about Aaron and Deneé, huh? Let's give them a hand. Yeah. Well, we're going to play some music for you. Hope you can clap along with us, have some fun. This one's called A Sky Full of Stars by Coldplay. Yeah, you can clap along to the beat if you like. You're a sky full of stars. I wanna give you my heart. You're a you're the sky full of stars. I think I see you. Oh, I don't care, wanna tear me apart. Oh, I don't care if you do. Oh, you're a sky full of stars. I think I see you. Oh, yeah. You're a sky full of stars. I wanna give you my heart. I don't care, don't wanna tear me apart. Oh, I don't care if you do. You're a sky full of stars. I think I see you. Oh, I think I see you. Oh. Hey, where's Ian? Hey, can you give us 4 on the floor? Clap, Ian. Yeah, there we go. Let's hear it. Keep it up. Man, that sounds quiet. There we go. It's getting better. Keep it going. All right, I'm going to sing, and Kelsey's going to repeat. Sing along. Here we go. Ready? And oh, 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 and oh, oh. Sing along with us, here we go. Oh, 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 I don't care, go on and tear me apart. Oh, I don't care if you do. You're a sky full of stars. I think I see you. Oh, I think I see you. Oh, I think I see you. Oh, oh. Thank you. Well, I don't know if it's humid in here or what, but my guitar is just not cooperating with tuning. Do you have a joke?
No, you don't want a joke from me.
Well, like I said, Nate and the Saints, there's a single that's actually on 88.3 The Wind called The Weight of the World. Yeah, there they are, right there. So if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and do so. I've been excited to be a part of it. And we sang this one time at one of our shows. It's called Washed by the Water by Need to Breathe. And so if you know it, sing along with us. It's pretty easy to catch up. Here we go. Even when the rain falls, even when the floods start to rise, even when the storm comes, I am washed by the water. Even when the rain falls, even when the floods start to rise, even when the storm comes, I am washed by the water. I am washed by the water. I am washed by the water. future. She was his wife. It's trying to make the world a little better, you know, shine a light. Oh, people started talking just to use their own voice. Those people have accused my father, said he made the wrong choice. Though it might be painful, you know, the time will always tell. Those people are long since gone. My father never failed. 'Cause even when the rain falls, even when the flood starts rising, even when the storm comes, I am washed by the water. 'Cause even when the rain falls, even when the flood starts rising, even when the storm comes, I am washed by the water. And even when the earth crumbles under my feet, even when the ones I love turn around and crucify me, I won't ever, ever let you down. I won't fall, I won't fall, I won't fall as long as you're around me. 'Cause even when the rain falls, even when the flood starts rising, even when the storm comes, I am washed by the water. It's even when the rain falls, even when the flood starts rising, oh, even when the storm comes, I am washed by the water. Even when the rain falls, even when the flood starts rising, even when the storm comes, I am washed by the water. Yeah, even when the rain falls, even when the flood starts rising, even when the storm comes, I am washed by the water. Yeah, I am washed by the water. I am washed by the water. Thank you. One of the things we wanted to do was just a small worship set. And actually, one of the ways that Nate and the Saints formed was Nate Sally is a worship leader at a local church. And actually, Nick and Kelsey and Ian have played together for the last couple years, right? And so when Nate started this new project, he said, hey, I want to include you guys, Nate and the Saints. So one of the ways that they have played together probably the most is through worship. And so it's always fun, I think, especially when we do worship sets. I'm a worship leader as well at a different church, but I knew Ian pretty well, and that's how I got connected with Nate and the Saints. And so I know I love it when we get to worship together. So if you know these songs, man, sing along and worship with us. You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies, until all my fears are gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God.
From my mother's womb, you have chosen me. Love has called my name. I've been born again into your family. Your blood flows through my veins.
I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. Sing, He knows my name. And He knows my name. And He knows my every thought. And He sees each tear that falls. And He hears me when I call. And He knows my name. And He knows my every thought. And He sees each tear that falls. And He hears me when I call. And hears me when I call. Hears me when I call. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I am a child of God. Thank you.
I am guilty, ashamed of what I've done, what I've become. These hands are dirty. I dare not lift them up to the Holy One. You plead my cause, you right my wrongs, you break my chains. inside I doubt that you could love me. But in your eyes there's only grace. You plead my cause, you right my wrongs, you break my chains, you overcome, you gave your life to give me mine. You say that I am free. How can it be? How can it I fall, you can make me new. From this death, I will rise with you. Yeah, oh, the grace reaching out for me. Yeah, how can it be? How can it be? You plead my cause, you right my wrongs, you break my chains, you overcome, you gave your life to give me mine. You say that I am free. You plead my cause, you right my wrong, you break my chains, you overcome, you gave your life to give me mine. You say that I am free. How can it be? How can it be?
Sing that chorus with us one more time.
You plead my cause, you right my wrongs, you break my chains, you overcome, you gave your life to give me mine. You say that I am free. How can it be?
Kelsey Williams. Well, I have one more for you. Thanks so much for sticking around and listening and worshiping with us. This next song we're going to sing is Way to the World, right?
Right, way to the world.
And so this is the single that you can hear on the radio right now and on iTunes and all that. And normally Nate sings it.
So I'm gonna do my best.
So yeah, hey, let's give Kelsey a hand. She's gonna rock it. And I just about played it in the wrong key, so let's try this. Whoa. Someone tell a joke. This is like always the most like weird thing in this setting. It's like, well, we're gonna sing this great song now. And so here it is. Wait, hold on. Do you guys ever do that, Aaron and Deneé, where you're like getting ready to start and I don't know, something happens or maybe hey, yeah, that's right. That would never happen. Wow, that's great. Anyway, so you ready? All right, Okay, so we're gonna keep working on being like Aaron and Deneé. Hey, and if is a podcast online now, correct? You can go listen back. Awesome. So it'll be up tomorrow. Go follow them. And what was the what's that? Mixler. Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for letting us come up here and play. Yeah, you bet. So this is called Way to the World.
I could not walk any farther. Strength was a stranger to me. I could not stand any longer. Couldn't even crawl on my knees. But love came down and lifted me, stood me on my feet. You took the weight of the world off my shoulders. You took my pain and you washed it away. You were the fire when my world was getting colder. You took my sin and my shame and forgave. You took the weight, oh, took the weight. Thought it was my own to carry. Now I am free from these chains. No more need for me to worry, 'cause I've given my struggles away. And hope came down and lifted me, stood me on my feet. You took the weight of the world off my shoulders. You took my pain and you washed it away. You were the fire when my world was getting colder. You took my sin and my shame and forgave. You took the weight, oh, took the weight. What can wash away my sin? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. What can make me whole again? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Oh, precious is the flow that makes me white as snow. No other fount I know. Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Some bright morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a land on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away.
Sing along now.
I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. I die, hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. You took the weight of the world off my shoulders. You took my pain and you washed it away. You were the fire when my world was getting colder. You took my sin and my shame and forgave. You took the weight of the world off my shoulders. You took my pain and you washed it away. You were the fire when my world was getting colder. You took my sin and my shame and forgave. You took the weight, took the weight, oh, took the weight. Some glad morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Kelsey Williams. Hey, Nick, back here. Ian. Thanks so much, guys. Aaron and Deneé.
Maybe this guy turn. One more time for Deneé the Saints. Go ahead, hop up on it. Grab a microphone today. Nicely done. Honestly, thank you so much, guys. Where can somebody buy your stuff? Do they just go to iTunes, search for Nate and the Saints? So if you're interested in checking that, oh, the moment is happening right now. Everybody watch. Oh, there it is. There it goes.
Buy their music.
Buy the music.
Yeah.
Say buy it. Say go buy it, dude. Can you say it? She's like, wait, there are people out there.
That's right. And that's Mike Fright. Okay. We all have it. We all have it. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you. We're going to hang out by the table. Yeah, grab your own. There's 2 more up there. I can walk up there with you if you want. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, we also wanted to let you know to please thank Classic Rock Coffee for letting us come in. We could give them a... We had a random chat with Brett and Noble about what it would mean to do a variety show, and so we've gotten a lot of really good feedback already, so we're going to be doing this again in the near future, so watch our Facebook page. We'll put up an event for that. If you haven't grabbed some coffee, I know it's a really good coffee here. If you haven't tried it, they roast their beans, and then the rule is that it has to be consumed within 3 to 14 days after it's been roasted, and then they don't use it ever. So it's a really fresh coffee. It's really delicious. So if you haven't tried it, grab a latte on your way out. And thank you again to Classic Rock Coffee.
Thanks, band, again for sponsoring us. Thanks to Andrew for coming out, to Ida for coming out, and Caleb from driving all that way and coming out. Appreciate that. Stop by and see us at the prize table. Grab something before you go, and you can determine for yourself whether or not Deneé stinks. I'll be right back at the prize table. Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.